I'm indeed delighted to be present here amongst dignitaries to inaugurate this conference today. First of all, let me offer my gratitude to Professor Fabio Canova and Professor Kul Bahadur Lointel for being with us in this conference. In the meantime, I'd also like to welcome Dr. Lointel, keynote speaker Dr. Fabio, and other dignitaries from abroad and all participants from Nepal. I believe this conference will provide evidence-based policy insight on financial stability, monetary policy, and overall financial development. I am also confident that this conference encourages a dynamic dialogue between academia, academic community, and central banking institution, promoting evidence-based policy making and contributing to the advancement of the economic science. Today, I'll be quick. I'll touch upon briefly about the evolving global scenario, reforms, Nepal's recent macroeconomic situation, which will be delivered during the panel session as well, and imperative to build resilient financial sector to ensure sustainable and inclusive growth. Speakers and participants, the global economic situation continues to recover slowly and unevenly from the shocks of COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent geopolitical tension. Many central banks are still maintaining their tight monetary policy stance to manage the inflation. The interconnectedness of global markets needs policy harmonization to mitigate impact of global shocks on economic activity. We understand that a strong domestic financial system and robust institutional and policy framework is necessary to withstand external shocks, whether they stem from global financial crisis, trade disruption, or any other type of, geopolitical tension. Ladies and gentlemen, Nepal's financial sector has undergone significant reforms, particularly during the three distinct phases. The first phase of reform initiated in the mid-1980s focused on promoting institutions, liberalizing the banking sector, and enhancing the range of financial services offered. The second phase of reform, starting in the early 2000s, concentrated on improving regulatory framework, strengthening the financial stability, and enhancing the operational efficiency of financial institutions, especially the public sector financial institutions. Post-2010, the focus shifted towards financial consolidation. This period saw efforts, merger and consolidation of financial institutions to create stronger entities, improving resiliencies into the system that is capable of withstanding economic shocks and contributing to sustainable economic growth. Along with the financial reforms, Nepal Rashtra Bank has also embarked on a journey of significant operational reform in monetary policy. This operational reform has been gradual, with the introduction of the interest rate corridor in 16-17 and shifting towards the interest rate targeting from the reserve targeting in 2021, and aimed at enhancing the effectiveness of the monetary policy transmission. We also introduced new instruments recently, such as standing deposit facility in 23-24 for effective implementation of interest rate corridors and effective liquidity management. The recent policy reforms has been concentrated on modernizing the monetary policy operation, enhancing credit quality, emphasizing the digital banking and fintech and developing a modern payment system and its integration into the global market, and continuing the financial consolidation measures. Ladies and gentlemen, our focus is on better coordination between monetary and macroprudential policies. We have been putting efforts to channelize credit towards productive sector to ensure that the banking sector supports sustainable economic development and can reduce the risk of assets bubble. We have also been promoting financial inclusion as a topmost priority, encouraging MSMEs, enhancing access, literacy, and consumer protection measures on financial services. Despite a series of global and domestic shocks like global financial crisis of 2008 and 2015 devastating earthquake and the COVID-19 pandemic, Nepal's financial system has shown resilience. Eminent speakers, participants, the growth momentum of more than 7% observed after the 2015 earthquake was halted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the global supply shocks. It is contracted from the historical average of 4.5% to 1.9% in 22-23. The growth has now started recovering to by 3.9% in 23-24. Specifically, the construction, manufacturing, and trade sectors were contracted in the last two fiscal years. Nepal also witnessed a rising consumer price inflation with 8.6% in September 2022. Because of the timely policy intervention, weak internal demand, and also some improvement into the supply side, inflation has now come down to 3.6% in July 2024, with annual average inflation of 5.4% in 23-24, well below the target of 6.5%. Distinguished guests, Nepal faced a rapid decline in foreign exchange reserve during late 2021 till 2022. NRB pursued a tighter monetary policy stance without any distortive measure to preserve the reserve from further depletion. We continued the higher interest rate policy regime for more than a year till May 2023. That has helped significantly to improve the external sector and also to contain the inflation. To address the debt distress and protect the small and medium-scale enterprises as a result of higher interest rate, we introduced some regulatory relaxation, loan rescheduling and reclassification, among others. At the same time, we continued our reforms, introducing the working capital guideline for standardizing the credit need assessment of corporate sector. The external sector is in relatively comfortable position with the balance of payment and current account surplus, adequate forex reserve with import capacity of almost 13.7 months in July 2024. The interest rate has been declining with the weighted average lending rate of commercial banks down to a single digit. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now turn on to some challenges and way forward for our financial system. With the balancing measure, we have been able to safeguard the overall macroeconomic stability. Now the key challenge is sluggish credit demand despite the lower interest rate and adequate liquidity into the banking system. Moreover, the decline in credit expansion despite lower interest rates highlight an concerted efforts to stimulate domestic demand in the real sector and boost domestic economic activities. We are currently facing another challenges in our economic landscape characterized by low growth, low savings, and low investment. In this context, monetary policy is expected by other stakeholders to act beyond its mandate without considering its limitations. Nepal's financial system has also been overloaded with structural issues, including the poorly developed insurance and capital market, especially the bond market. Another emerging issues due to technological advancement and fintech into the financial system is strengthening cybersecurity, protecting from scams and data breaches on the eve of ongoing financial digitalization. We have made substantial progress in digital payments and settlement. At the same time, we need further work to ensure consumer protection and safety. Likewise, we are working further on interoperability of the domestic and cross-border payments and settlements. We are also studying new prospects like central bank digital currencies to cope with the digital era, enhancing inclusion and monetary transmission effectiveness. To summarize, the path ahead for us is addressing the challenges while maximizing the opportunities we have in the monetary and fiscal sectors, financial sectors. By maintaining a balanced approach to monetary policy, enhancing regulatory frameworks, continued reform, and fostering financial inclusion, we aim to navigate the complexities of the financial landscape while ensuring the sustainable and inclusive growth. Finally, I would like to extend my best wishes for the conference success. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to every one of the conference participants and presenters. I am confident that this conference and the topics covered here will benefit us by shedding light on some fresh knowledge that has the potential to be implicated. Finally, I hope all foreign dignitaries to have a memorable and pleasant time during your stay in Kathmandu. I also wish those who are visiting Nepal for the first time to explore the countries around. Thank you Thank you for your kind listening. Thank you all.